morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from our Lagos headquarters and Enterprise Television. It is. I am Henry Nnpc.
And I am Chioma Okoye.
All right, in a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning. And right after that will be our main conversation also for today. So I will get everything all produced for you. Please be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. We are at Enterprise TV News.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With us today in the studios to do justice to all that we have, Barrister Evans Ofeli, a barrister at law and public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Choma.
Good morning, Harry.
How are you so day today?
Yeah, but thank God it's fine.
No, thank God it's Friday. It's not yet Friday.
Thank God it's fine.
Oh, fine. Oh, good. I thought you said Friday.
No.
Yes. All right, so let's kick off our newspaper headlines today. And what do we have first?
Okay, we're starting with the Guardian newspaper and the big story here. Concerns as fuel price hike, weak naira, damping inflation outlook. Details are on page 6, and there's a picture of the fuel pump, and the price is at 950 naira per liter.
And what the image is actually describing here is like the more the increase in the liter of fuel, the more the naira depreciates. Yeah, that's what the picture is telling here. Okay. And this is so very unfortunate. But let's look at other stories that made headline news on the Guardian newspaper. Fake Maiduguri flood victims, relief operations in the IDP camps.
Okay, moving on. At the left hand, but still on the Guardian newspaper, you see food prices. Rice is at 95,000 naira per bag. Beans 213,000 naira per bag. Yam is about 6,000 naira. Gari is at 56,000 naira per bag. Pepper 100,000 naira per bag, and bread is at 1,800 naira for a loaf of bread. Where is Nigeria heading to?
All right, so we still have government kill 5 in fresh attack in Plateau community.
Okay, Abuja's tenure as LP boss expired in June 2024. INEC insists.
All right, but let's get into the main story here on the differential in the pricing of fuel. And we have it that in FCT, it is sold for 999 naira. In Lagos, 950. In Lagos, Nnpc releases pump price. And of course, it says the Nigerian National Petroleum Company and Nnpc Limited says petrol will be sold at 950 naira per litre across all its retail outlets in Lagos. In a social media post on Monday, the Nnpc said the estimated pump price is based on prices set by the Dangote refinery for its petroleum products, and according to the price map shared by the Nnpc, residents in the northern part of Nigeria will pay more for the product, with those in Borno expected to pay the highest petrol pump price of 1,019 naira. Barrister Evans Ofeli, where are we heading to? Are you sure we are about to see a Nigeria that is salvageable?
Well, you know, the leaders of this country and those who pioneer the affairs of the economy, they keep getting it wrong. They think that the more you increase the prices of the commodity, that is the fuel price, they think the more they'll be able to meet up with what it takes to refine it, what it takes to get a landing cost and all that. Nnpc increasing, forcing Dangote to sell at a particular price and all that will further weaken the naira. Nobody is thinking about that. And this is the same naira that is your national emblem. It gets weakened by the day. All other African countries around us who even buy this product from us, their currency is even higher than ours. So because people are greedy, people are wicked, they want to take this price of fuel even when they are buying crude in naira. And they are using all kinds of bureaucracy to ensure that the price is up there, forgetting that it will affect the naira. So that one is weakening. Okay, look at the price of food that you mentioned now. Maybe very soon we're going to. I'm no longer on food, I'm on water now. Maybe some people will be dragged into that net in the days to come. So the economy is battered. No thanks to the president, who, as at the time he came into the country, May 29, 2023, the fuel price was not up to 200 naira.
And the naira was better off.
Yeah, it was not up. Yes, it was not up to 200 naira. That's why the Holy Read say, "Woe unto you, O land, when your king is a child."
Okay, thank you,
You
Barrister.
will keep suffering. That's what it means. People will keep suffering. And the worst part of this whole thing is when you make mistakes, by the concurrence of nature, you have opportunity to adjust and correct those mistakes. This one is not even aware that he has made a mistake. So there's no room for correction. And we're heading somewhere, we're just going. Nobody's in charge of this country at all.
Thank you, Barrister Evans. Okay, now looking at what is happening, especially when it comes to the pump price. Now, the oil marketers are saying it doesn't make sense, and even the common Nigeria or the average Nigeria is trying to make sense of the fact that when we imported fuel, it was cheaper. Now we have a refinery, it is expensive, and it is over 50%. Are we going to say Dangote refinery is now a blessing to Nigerians, or is it now appearing as a curse? Because the margin is quite huge for Nigerians to even comprehend.
It's nothing for Nigerians. It's nothing. The refinery is in full operation now, and there's scarcity. Even when you have the product, it's expensive. So, of what use is that refinery to Nigerians? It's of no use, because we have used our greed, we have used monopoly, we have used all sorts to solve the process. Look at the war that broke out between the two spokespersons from Dangote refinery to the Nnpc, where the Nnpc claimed they bought from Dangote at 989. Then Dangote came out and said, no, that's not the price we sold. You understand?
Yeah.
And look at the rush, the way Nnpc rushed to increase the fuel price. And they told us already that the price have been deregulated. There's market forces that will determine price. Then that people will sell according to how they buy. So why did you now, why did you create a monopoly? Now, double monopoly. One, Dangote is the only refinery. That's a monopoly. The second is Nnpc is the sole purchaser and distributor. That's another monopoly. So you created two monsters around just one refinery that an individual have succeeded in creating in the country. No other refinery is working. Now, the independent marketers are saying that they are going to buy outside, because it appears that buying outside is cheaper, will be cheaper. So those of them who are able to muster the energy to do that, and who will find the forest to do that, should go ahead, because it looks like if we get it from outside, maybe those ones will sell lower. So that Dangote and the federal government can go and drink the one that they've produced. Because since the citizens cannot lay hold to it, of what use is it? Even the Dangote refinery, they complained that part of the reason the refinery was brought into existence was because the energy insufficiency in the country is to address the energy insufficiency in the country and satisfy Nigerians to, and all that. But that objective has been completely, obviated. And that Dangote is not putting up any fight. He's not putting up any resistance. They just issued a statement, and that was all. There's no resistance. This is when Nigerians are supposed to protest. You understand? I mean, before you know it now, this price thing will stabilize.
And everybody will feel it's okay.
Everybody will now adjust to it. And then you keep on, the Naira will become something else in the nearest future. This is not how to govern a country. You cannot be less than 1 year ago, the price of the first was not up to 200 Naira. Then 1 year later or so, it's now over 1,000 Naira. And the bad thing about it is that you cannot even get it at those prices they have set it for, under scarcity. You can't get it at those are official price. You understand? So under scarcity, you'll be buying it 1,200. You'll be buying. Are you telling me that the price that they set for Abuja and that they set for Lagos is what you buy it at the filling station? Yes, that's not what you will get at the filling station.
But conversely, I had wanted to ask, just before we move on to the next, papers, why do you think the president, as the Minister of Petroleum Resources, is not saying anything about this? Then secondly, conversely, why do you think all of this, the two European oil refineries have closed down? They've closed down, citing Dangote as a reason. Why do you think that is so? What are we not seeing?
Two foreign refineries in the country.
In Europe?
In Europe, are closed down.
Yes.
Okay, because of citing Dangote
Yes.
refinery. Well, it's because Dangote refinery now have the product. Because they now have the product, and NNPC is no longer looking at that direction. NNPC, you know how many trailers got to NNPC on Sunday? There were 93 or thereabouts that went to load. And they loaded over, 200 and something thousand liters or whatever. I can't remember the figure, but they loaded full capacity, like what they would naturally do from the Apapa seaport. So because the refinery is so large that it can offtake huge capacity. So if they are closing down, they are not closing down for the benefit of the Nigerian market. They are not. Because what we were paying to get from them, as now we're getting from them, is lower than what we're now paying to get it from within.
So with the forex thing, I guess it's better for them to rather import refined fuel from Nigeria with a small amount of forex than maybe to produce themselves, and maybe
the only advantage you are going to see here, what could have been an advantage have been eroded by greed. Yes, because what would have been an advantage is Dangote, that crude was sold to him in Naira. Okay? In so doing, by the corresponding effect of economics, is supposed to now put it at a pump. NNPC intercepted that. Supposed to sell at a particular price that will keep the Naira in vitality. Okay? But now you're overshooting it. You understand? You're overshooting it. So at the end of the day, what is going to happen? Maybe a fraction of the exchange rate may drop. Maybe a fraction of it as a result of this effect. But the economic trajectory to it also is difficult. In that forest market too, the same kind of we have in Nnpc, that kind of thing, politics, is also in that forest market. So at the end of the day, the effect of economics and the whole variables of economics sometimes don't work in Nigeria.
Very true.
It does not work because of human elements. And this human element will ensure that things do, because they will tell you that in economics, if is a predictable social science, behavioral social science, that if this and this and this is this way, if demand is high, what will happen? Price will go up. If there is scarcity, if there's scarcity of anything, you know that price will also go up. If you have surplusage, price will drop. All these factors are supposed to be, factors that will prevail under natural human circumstances. But in Nigeria, those factors don't prevail. They don't just go the way it is described in economics. Because the way it is described in economics is described in economics on an ideal situation where everyone is honest and true to purpose. So economics, the principle of economics will strive. But when people are devious, where people are cutting corners and the consequences are not meted out on them and they are not punished, they will create situations that will defy economics.
But
that's exactly what we're going through. There should be some level of maybe economics plus or advanced economics where you factor in witchcraft. You factor in the witchcraft in the economy, that's why I like law. Law will give you circumstances and situations, how it will always be when you have a situation like this. Then the law will not give you an exception to the general rule to start to explain. Sometimes by the time you finish the exception would have overridden the principle itself. Economics should be so.
Very
that
true.
in certain circumstances where people have witchcraft and they're embedded with wickedness, these principles may not go this way because they may distort it, they may cut corners, they may do all kinds of things. That's exactly what we have in Nigeria.
Thank you, Barrister Evans.
Very well said. You know, the cost push effect of economics only had make that very, very simple. When there's a price increase in a particular commodity that everyone takes advantage of, it spirals on every other thing. But just before we go in a bit, let's go to the Daily Trust newspaper quickly. Despite 400 billion naira ecological fund flood ravages states.
Okay, moving on. The top strip of the Daily Trust newspaper, CBN urged to reduce interest rates as food inflation drops to 37.52%.
All right, and on the bottom strip, many Maulud celebrants killed in Kaduna road accident, particularly 515 children died on the Abuja, Kaduna road, just on the Sunday of that particular day, and that's so very unfortunate.
Yeah, so very unfortunate. Wrapping up with this on the Daily Trust newspaper, Senator Barrow receives Kano government's top aide Dambo into APC from Nnpc. That's Sani Dambo from NPP to APC.
All right, but just before we go for this, concerns as Nnpc reform initiative hits rock. Barrister Vansufeli, there used to be a time, I know the Gen Zs wouldn't know this so well, there used to be a time we only relied on Nnpc. Right? You needed to send a message to someone miles away. You send, through Nnpc, and it gets to the person replies back and all. Why do you think it's difficult for Nnpc to not have transitioned technologically with the pace at which evolution of technology is going?
It's peculiar with government and government functionaries. It's just in Nigeria that you have that. Abroad, you see how they transit. I mean, you can see British Airways to date. All their jets are modern. They are not moribund. Okay, you go to some country that's Ethiopia, you see all the aircrafts are modern aircrafts. You understand? Now, in Nigeria's case, it just took the grace of God under Jonathan to restore the rail system. Okay? Because they were committed and they took a lot of loan to do that. Now, Nnpc, you know what Nnpc is doing today? Nnpc is still selling stamp. You place the stamp, then you post. Instead of them to transit fully into courier service.
Exactly.
Where they can be doing cargo on their airline.
Oh, beautiful.
Like DHL, I went to UPS headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. There were over 300 aircrafts that I counted in their lot. Almost like they had their own airport. You understand? So that is owned by individuals. That is even private owned. Talk about government. Lack of maintenance and management have been our problem. How can that? Do you know when Nnpc started? Nnpc started during the colonial era, around 1935 or thereabout. You understand? And they've been there all the while, going through all the transitions and all that. There are people today, persons today who work in Nnpc, retired in Nnpc, and they are still earning what they call pension till date. That work in Nnpc. So many people. Okay, but that institution have not grown. It has not grown for the same Nigerian factors. Thank God we are even talking about it today. Otherwise, it would have taken the shape of our what do you call it now? Textile industries.
Very, very well said.
Very,
very well said. It's so very unfortunate. In the United States of America, mail ballots decide who becomes the president at the end of the day. People still cast their votes through mails.
Professionals.
Yes, already. So I wonder and I hope that time would come when Nnpc would equally, find itself in the same situation. But that's just about the time we have for this segment, and we'll be moving on to our main conversation in a jiffy. Thank you so very much, Barrister Vansufeli. Just to let you know, he will be around to take us also on our main conversation, and we equally have a virtual guest.
Okay, and when we return, First Lady spent 701 million naira on foreign trips in 3 months amidst Nigerians' dwindling economic fortunes. Just stay tuned with us. We'll be right back.